Hello, I'm Leah. Thanks for joining today. Today we're doing a 10-minute hatha yoga. Our focus today is going to be our root chakra. It is also known as Muladhara. In today's practice, we're going to focus on a root to rise approach, and I want us to channel our energy to our root chakra, which is kind of near our sacrum in the lower area of our pelvis. And when we look at our chakras, they're all located in a line down the center of our body. Root is the very lowest one, and when your root chakra is thrown off and it needs a little more energy, we need to focus on feeling secure and stable in our lives and really root down to the ground, to the earth, become stable, and really focus that energy today. A lot of our poses are going to be rooted on the ground, and the energy should go towards that today. So to get started, come to a seated position. You can place a block or a blanket underneath your bottom to help with comfort. Just find a way to get seated, arrive on your mat, and start to take some deep inhales and exhales. Let's use our yoga breath. So inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Think about your intention for today's class. It may be short, but you can definitely make it count. Okay, bring yourself to the back of your mat. Extend your legs out long in front of you. Ensure that your hips are level, both facing the same direction. Shoulders are level as well. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, and hinging at your hips, let's lean forward over our legs. Taking care not to round our spine here, but to maintain correct posture. Shoulders stay down. You can reach for your shins, your feet, your thigh, the ground, wherever's comfortable. Since it's the first forward fold of the class, don't expect yourself to be able to go as far as you might normally once you're warmed up. So root down onto the ground, and with every exhale, lower a little bit more, keeping your spine straight. Inhale, come back up to rise. Now we're going to bend our left leg, place our left foot on the inside of our right thigh, raise your arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, fold over your right leg, grab onto the bottom of your right foot or your shin or your ankle, whatever you can reach. And just encourage that same forward fold, but this time with more of a stretch over to the right side. Ensure that your seat is even on the ground. You haven't lifted one cheek up or the other, to focus on that stability again. Inhale, rise back up, and let's do the other side. Left leg extends, right leg bends, foot placed on the inside of your left thigh. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Reach for your foot or ankle or shin. Inhale, rise back up. Bring both feet in, keep your knees bent, and you can walk your seat to the middle of your mat. We're going to do boat pose. This is a bit of a root balance. So find the place on your on your seat area, where you're not sitting too much on the bone of your pelvis, but you're also not sitting too much on the flesh. Just find like the sweet spot in the middle where you can lift up your legs and you don't find any pinching or pain. So find that area, hold on to it, and slowly lift one leg at a time and find that balance. Use your core here. Keep your spine straight, your shoulders low, and your arms can extend out the same direction that your toes are pointing. Your palms can be facing up to the sky, and just hold this boat pose. If you want, you can play with extending one or the other leg out straight for more of a challenge, or you can keep them bent. And breathe. All right, inhale. Exhale, lower your feet to touch the ground. Let's come to the middle of our mat again. I'm going to face you, but you can stay in that same direction. We're going to engage cow face pose. So keep your right leg on the ground bent. Then we're going to sweep our left leg over top of our right. It's almost as if we're making a sandwich with our knees. So both knees should be facing the front of the room. You should be able to grab onto both ankles. If you're feeling like there's too much pressure, you can put a blanket or a block under your bottom again. That'll help raise your hips up. But let's try the part expression of this pose. So the normal expression has us reaching for either hand, elbows in opposite directions. This can be kind of challenging, so I can also encourage us to do eagle arms, where we sweep one elbow underneath the other. So since we have our left leg crossed over our right here, let's put our right arm crossed over our left to even it out. And really, again, focus on your rooting down through your sacrum here. Big inhale. And exhale. You'll feel a nice stretch in your legs on your hip flexors in this pose. All right, inhale. Exhale, release your arms in whatever placement you had them, and let's swap our legs out. So, left leg bends on the ground, right leg crosses over top, right knee on top of left knee. You might notice one leg is a little more tight than the other when we do this, which is totally normal. You have the option to do the full expression arms here. This would be left arm reaching for right hand behind you, or we can do the eagle arms like last time. And since our right leg is on top, we will do our left arm on top. Hands to touch, palms, and lift your elbows up a bit so they're in line with your shoulders. The more that you release any tension that you're holding in this pose, the more of the massage you'll feel on your hips. Inhale. Exhale, release your arms, release your legs, and let's come to a tabletop position. Inhale, tuck your toes under and lift up and back into downward dog. Pedal out your legs, your hips. Up, but inhale, come to a high plank, and exhale, lower everything to the ground. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Exhale, release, lower down. Inhale, tuck your toes under, press up into tabletop, and walk your hands back to your knees and come to a standing position at the back of your mat. Inhale, raise your arms up overhead. Exhale, palms to touch, draw a line down the center of your body. Bring your palms to heart center. Lift your left foot up, take a big wide step to the front of your mat, and let's twist all 10 toes to the long side of your mat, so your right side. From here, you can keep all toes facing forward. Ensure that your hips are aligned, one isn't drawing back or forward. And we're going to sit into a deep, wide squat here. You can slightly turn your toes out a little bit. And our arms are going to come out wide, fingertips pointed in opposite directions, shoulders draw down. You can lift your palms to face the sky, and you can even raise your arms up, palms parallel, and sit deeper into this squat. Inhale, lift up, straighten your legs. Exhale, dive forward into a wide-legged forward fold. You can walk your feet out a little wider and slightly pigeon toe yourself. Make sure you're hinging at your hips. This isn't a spinal bend that we're doing here. It's purely from the hips. Keep a slight bend in your knees, don't lock them out. And you can reach for either a heel, or you can just place your hands on the ground or on your hips. Just find a place that's comfortable for this wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms down. Walk your feet in closer together and sit down into a Malasana squat. So our feet are flat on the ground, toes are facing out a little bit, palms at heart center, elbows hook on the inside of your knees, and press your palms into your chest to encourage your spine to stay straight. Head and gaze is up. We're not rounding our spine at all here. Breathe into your root. Inhale, plant your palms on the ground, lift your butt up, tiptoe your feet in, halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. And come to a seated position. Extend your legs out slightly and roll yourself onto your mat. Roll your back down so it's flat on the mat. Bring your feet in towards your seat. We're going to do bridge pose. So palms and hands can just stay flat on the mat. Tuck your hips under and then push into your heels and lift up. Lift your hips towards the sky. Your gaze can stay straight. Just avoid looking side to side to avoid neck strain. Take care that your knees don't splay outwards. They often want to do that when we're doing bridge. And just breathe. Exhale, lower all the way down. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Inhale. Exhale, release into Shavasana. All right, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you enjoyed this focus on your root chakra, root to rise, and we'll see you next time. I just wanted to say a special thank you to our friends at Wade Studio for letting us use their beautiful space here. If you're in the Toronto area, you should definitely check them out at wadestudio.ca.